Greetings and welcome back. Welcome back to yet another edition of Electric Avenue's YouTube updates. Thanks for joining me. You might be wondering, wait a second, I already saw this guy give me an hour-long video the other day of all the updates of what's coming out Black Friday 2022. That's November 25th, 2022. And, well, I did do that. But there's also new releases coming out this Friday. You guys, it's crazy. I don't remember there ever being this many things coming out on a regular Black Friday, at least not since the days where CDs were going crazy. So you've got all of the Black Friday Record Store Day stuff. I covered most of it in that video, but there were many things that, I couldn't in the amount of time. It was mostly highlights, a lot of highlights. So this one is going to be focused on video of stuff that's coming out on Friday, November 25th, but is not on the list. But this will be in the store or available as of Friday. So quite a bit of stuff. So get your coffee or whatever, get your turkey, I don't know, get your stuffing, whatever you're into. I'll probably be doing tacos on, not a big turkey fan. Anyway, so here you go. First of all, you probably see these little guys sitting on the shelf behind me. Those are actually Record Store Day things. They're these little 3-inch records that you need a 3-inch player for, and we do have we have at least one to sell. I think many people who would be into the 3-inch records probably have bought them in the past, and maybe they have players, and we could get more players, but I just don't want to have like a bunch of 3-inch players sitting around with nobody interested in them. But we've got 3 Czarface. There's this one, Czarface and MF Doom. There's this one, Nautical Depth. They all look really cool. They've got kind of like these animated covers. The Zarlak Pit. And the 4th one is not Czarface or MF Doom. It is Beck. And it's called It's All in Your Mind. I think this was from Sea Change. Looks like that artwork. Anyway, we'll have a few of those. All right, so stuff that comes out this Friday. The first thing I'm going to show is actually not a vinyl piece. It's a CD. But this is actually coming out. There's a sort of edited down version of this. It's just one record that's coming out, I believe, in the end of January, early February. But this is David Bowie, and this is Hunky Dory, The Journey to Hunky Dory. This is pretty massive. It would make a nice gift for somebody. You can see you've got a very extensive track listing. It's 4 CDs and a Blu-ray. The CDs include the Songwriting Demos Plus. That's disc 1. Disc 2 is the BBC Radio in Concert, John Peel. Mono and stereo. The 3rd one is BBC Radio Session and Live, Sounds of the 70s, Bob Harris, and Live Friars, Aylesbury, September 71. CD4, alternate mixes, singles and versions. The Bo promo mixes, which I believe were only on vinyl before from what I saw. The 2021 mixes of Hunky Dory. And then the Blu-ray audio includes the Hunky Dory 2015 remaster, Divine Symmetry, which is an alternate journey, alternate track listing of Hunky Dory, and then a bonus mix and some other Sounds of the 70s. Hunky Dory is one of the best albums ever recorded. And David Bowie was really, he just completely outdid himself with that album. And I'm glad that there's someone paying attention to this. It seems like Ziggy Stardust gets so much attention, and Hunky Dory is just as good. Life on Mars, if you don't know that song, you must be living under a rock. But anyway, please check that out. The box set is rather expensive, I think. I mean, it's not unaffordable, but one thing I think people might say is, well, there's no Dolby Atmos mix in there. Well, that's sort of becoming sort of a normal thing, I guess. But unfortunately, all right. But it's a very nice piece. All right, and then another very nice piece, very impressive. And I've been looking forward to this a lot, is Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers live at the Fillmore, 1997. And this is a 6 record set. All the Tom Petty live stuff from that era you could probably want. What's cool about this is that he did a lot of cover songs too. So let's see, I'm seeing Time Is on My Side. Let's see, Goldfinger, You Really Got Me. I Can't Get No Satisfaction. Gloria. I mean, there's just stuff all over this one. Knocking on Heaven's Door. So anyway, yeah, this is a very cool artifact of that era. Tom is no longer with us. This says the legendary 1997 residency. Tom Petty's quoted as saying, "We all feel this might be the high point of our time together as a group." So this is also not very cheap, but it's a beautiful set. And any Heartbreakers or Tom Petty fan would love to have that. And if you're feeling like you're not quite that rich, because it's pushing up above $150 even for the vinyl, there's a 3 LP set of highlights. So you'll get some of that stuff, but obviously they're going to leave out certain things. But it's not a bad value for that. It's around 50. So there's that, and then on CD, there's a CD box set, which is 4 CDs, and that includes all the stuff that's in the big vinyl set. That's about 60, and then there's a highlights of that, which is about 20, and that's a 2 CD set. So there's different sort of configurations of that. Sorry, grabbing for something here. I have stuff all over the place. It's insane. All right. Another big reissue this week, and I've mentioned this before, is The Cure, Wish. This is the 3 CD edition, and there is a 1 CD edition for those of you that just want a remastered version of that. I'm not really sure why you would want just that, but maybe you would. But this has the full album. Then it has a disc of previously unheard demos, which they've done on other albums. And sometimes Cure demos are good. And I mean, if you like the sound of them, that's great. And then other times it's like, kind of like, well, what's the point of this? I really want to hear like B-sides or something like that. And then the third disc is rare and previously unreleased tracks and a lot of the 12-inch singles, which haven't been available anywhere else. So it's nice that they did do that for this disc. As far as like the B-sides of The Cure go, there's that Join the Dots box set, which I think is probably out of print. But here's hoping that, they do proper sort of deluxe versions of these albums at some point and add those tracks back in there. But I already showed this a couple of times. This is The Cure's Wish, the vinyl picture disc that comes out on Friday as well. This is the only version of this that will be available on vinyl. And, I've had people say, oh, are they ever going to put like Wild Mood Swings out on vinyl without being a picture disc? That was on the last record store day. Was that? That might have been earlier this year. Yeah, it was 2022, April 1. And I think that the record label, they're kind of learning their lesson in a way. I wouldn't say that they're learning a lesson, but they're kind of focused more on these as like art pieces and not really like so much as like just giving us like a vinyl reissue. So at some point they'll probably come out on black vinyl, but I can't say when. It's already been a while. Blood Flowers they did make on black vinyl, and then that after the picture disc, and then that was sort of hard to find too. So go figure. A box set that this is sort of what happened last year with the Nirvana box set as far as the timing goes. But let's hope that the mastering job, I think, is done better than what people said about the Nirvana. I don't know. But the Flaming Lips, Yoshimi versus the Pink Robots. So there is a vinyl box set of this coming out in May, I believe, or April. But this is a CD box set, 50 bucks, nice 20th anniversary edition, if you can believe that. It's 6 CDs, all right, and they include the album remastered, Fight Test and Ego Tripping at the Gates of Hell, those EPs, some non-LP singles and stuff like that, B-sides, radio sessions, Live 2002 Plus, and Live 2003. 101 tracks on 6 CDs, includes many unreleased songs and recordings, live shows. Way cool. I mean, Flaming Lips, well, there are two, this one and the album before it, which the name is escaping me right now, are probably their two most well-known and best received albums. I saw them live in 1987 in a tiny little bar in Manhattan, Kansas. And all I remember is there was a lot of smoke and a lot of flanger on Wayne's voice. And I'm like, are they going to do anything? And man, did they like go far. They really, well, they changed a lot too. They got a lot more produced sounding and more melodic, I would say, over time. But always psychedelic, so that's for sure. All right, a big reissue this week. I almost feel like embarrassed to show this, but Type O Negative, Origin of the Feces. Yeah, so this is with the original cover. This is a sticker, and it says, peel to scratch and sniff. I don't know if I want to do that, but maybe it is a scratch and sniff. Anyway, the sticker says it's pressed on green and black color vinyl. This is done by Run Out Groove, who does amazing pressings of things. And yeah, this is a 2 LP set. You can see the track listing there on the back. This was their first album, I believe. And yeah, and that was the lead singer, his anus on the cover. He was not shy anyway, but he's no longer with us, so it's hard even to look at. So that is coming out, as is their album Dead Again. Now this is coming out on CD. There's this version that is a 2 CD set. This comes with a sticker and something else. Think like a little poster or something like that. I'm not sure. And then there's also a cassette version of that on a green tape. The thing with this album is that there was supposed to be a vinyl version that was like a splatter vinyl or something. And at the last minute, I'm looking yesterday, and it was not showing up in the system. And I asked what was going on, and they said, oh, it's been canceled. And I'm like, canceled? So either they oversold it online and they needed to like sell to those people, or there was some sort of manufacturing issue with it. I'm not really sure. Maybe they couldn't get it done in time. But and there's also just a 2 CD version if you want that without the sticker and all that for a few dollars less. And it does have a second disc of bonus material. So yeah. I mean, Type O, their fans are loyal, just like Tool fans or something like that. One last CD I'll throw in here is Tina Turner's Break Every Rule. That's a couple of discs there. People were saying, oh, this is much better than what they did for Private Dancer. because you get 3 B-sides, which include her versions of Having a Party and Take Me to the River. And then there's like 5 or 6 remixes and a live track. So anyway, that was a very popular album in the 80s for her. Excuse me. One thing that I'm really looking forward to getting is Duran Duran's Future Past. This is the full, complete edition. And when this was released a year ago, I said, why are there 5 tracks missing? And I had a feeling that this was going to happen, where the record label was like going to release it again at a later date and add stuff to it. And that's exactly what happened. So this is a 2 LP edition. It has everything that was missing from the original. Plus, they added their cover of 5 Years, David Bowie. Great cover. And yeah, this is on red and green vinyl. And they've shown John Taylor online opening this up, and it looks great. There's 2 art booklets in there that are really, really nice. So glad to have that. There's another thing for your record store day purchasing if Type O Negative isn't your scene. Another thing is Brandi Carlile. And this is her last album, was called In These Silent Days. And this is called In the Canyon Haze. And basically what this is it's the In These Silent Days album plus a Laurel Canyon sounding version of the same album that she sort of recorded. And when I say Laurel Canyon, maybe some of you who are not from California, I'm not, but it'd be more sort of like the Joni Mitchell sound of like the early 70s, late 60s, or you know, Crosby, Stills, Nash, or well, I don't know, maybe I'm not being quite accurate with this stuff, but I sort of think like early Jackson Browne, or stuff that's very kind of like it's got that Southern California Laurel Canyon sound. And so Right on Time is on here, but it's a different version. There's the original album, and then there's also the bonus album. So it's like a double album, teal and orange vinyl. And the last song on here that they added on the Laurel Canyon version is Space Oddity. Oh my gosh, it's another David Bowie cover. And she does a great job of it. So, ground control to Major Tom, indeed. More reissues. Bright Eyes. Lifted or The Story is in the Soil. Keep Your Ear to the Ground. This was a sort of big sort of breakthrough album for Conor Oberst. And so earlier this year, some of the early albums like Fever and Mirrors came out, and they had companion pieces that had a bunch of bonus material. So this one has a companion piece, and it's the same thing, but it's on gold vinyl, and it's got this nice foil cover, and there's a bunch of other tracks. You can see, I don't know, it's kind of hard to see. They're gold, embossed here. They did a really nice job with the embossing of these covers. They did I'm a Wide Awake, It's Morning, which is probably his biggest selling album. And then there's a companion piece to that, which is also on gold vinyl. And this has 6 bonus tracks. All right, and there's also Digital Ash and a Digital Urn, which came out at the same time as I'm Wide Awake. And there is a companion piece for that album with 6 more bonus tracks. So you could really go all in on Conor Oberst here. I mean, it's nice that they're doing this because these are really great albums that needed a lot of sort of attention that maybe they weren't getting. One of the best sort of most ingenious bands of late 80s into the early 90s, They Might Be Giants. And this has been out on vinyl before, but this reissue is special because It's on limited edition pink and green vinyl. So it's quite colorful. This album gets remembered for the song Put Your Hand in the Puppet Head, mainly, and Don't Let's Start. That was quite a big hit for them, too. Also had She Was a Hotel Detective. I may have to get that. Another great album from them, Apollo 18. And this is a picture disc version of it. I think there might be a regular one coming soon, but it's kind of cool on a picture disc with this like octopus sort of, or I say octopus, squid whale theme. This one has I Palindrome I. She's Actual Size, My Evil Twin, and big song on here was The Statue Got Me High. Great album. I'm so glad to see these back. I don't know for how long. Usually they do smallish runs of They Might Be Giants. This is kind of an interesting, quirky, it's a 10-inch from Asia. It's a single of Only Time Will Tell and The Heat of the Moment. So two of their biggest hits. But these are live versions, I think, from Tokyo, March 2007. Jeff Downes, Steve Howe, Carl Palmer, and John Wetton, who is now no longer with us. So this is on orange vinyl. It's not cheap. I think it's an import. But for someone who might be a Yes or an Asia fan, this might be something to just kind of be like an extra, like stocking sort of, here you go. Another cool thing, Slade, Merry Christmas, everybody. So here it is. Everybody loves that song. Anyway, there's the track listing on this. It's only 4 tracks, a 12-inch single. The tracks are, it's a Snowflake Marble vinyl. And just so you know, the tracks are Merry Christmas, Everybody, Let's Dance. I don't know if that's a David Bowie cover. Okie Kokie and Auld Lang Syne / You'll Never Walk Alone, done by Slade. It's gotta be awesome. All right. Stanley Turrentine's Cherry. This is a cool reissue of CTI. This is 50th anniversary, limited 1,500 individually numbered pink translucent pink color vinyl, produced by Creed Taylor. Features Bob James, Billy Cobham, and Milt Jackson. Stanley Turrentine and Milt Jackson's Cherry. That's one that I see once in a while in reissues because I think it was a fairly popular release. New West is doing a bunch of their live in Texas, and Willie Nelson live in Texas. And these are on color vinyl. Waylon Jennings live in Texas. Austin. I don't know how many of these we're going to have. It seems like they didn't send as many as I would have hoped. And I think they're fairly limited because they're colored. This is a different thing. Waylon Jennings, Original Outlaw. People sort of know this as a kind of a great infamous album of his. And I love it, the cover with the Texaco station on it in the background. And this cool color vinyl, which is gold splatter. Simulation only. This features a couple of tracks with Buddy Holly. When Sin Stops, and I don't want to say this, Jolie Blonde. I'm not sure. I might be saying that wrong. It's probably Jolie Blonde. Anyway, it has his version too of Money, That's What I Want. Oh, that's interesting. It also has Don't Think Twice, It's All Right. Cool. All right. Chris Christopherson, This Old Road. This was a later album from him, 2008 maybe? 2006 or 8. Let's see, there's the track list. And this is also on colored vinyl. I gotta put these down. Sorry, guys. Holding too much. Kinks, Percy. This was out for Record Store Day, I think, but this is a black vinyl edition. Still has a great cover. I think it was actually maybe a picture disc before. But this features an instrumental version of Lola, God's Children, and The Way Love Used to Be. I love that textured cover. This is cool. The Yardbirds. This is Roger the Engineer, half-speed master edition, cut from the original stereo master tapes at Air Mastering, pressed on 180 gram vinyl. You don't see this one that often, actually, so. And Yardbirds, well, I hope everybody knows who the Yardbirds had in the group at this point. But, this Jeff Beck on this one was sort of the big name on this one. Okay. Sorry, it's getting late. I'm doing this at night again. I'm like, this is the only time I can find. Daft Punk, Homework, remixes. This is early remixes for Daft Punk. And I don't remember when if I've ever seen this on vinyl. 10 classics from 1997 and 98. Features stuff from Junior and Roger Sanchez, Motorbass, Todd Terry. Retro but cool. If you like Daft Punk. The Head and the Heart. Their new album, Every Shade of Blue, which ironically is on orange vinyl, I believe. Yep. Finally out on vinyl. They had some sort of weird deal with the record label on this, where it kind of came out on CD, but it was like you had to specifically order that CD or they wouldn't send it to you. Like they had to make to order, sort of. And then the vinyl was delayed like half a year. So I don't know. I hope that like the air hasn't gone out of that entire project at this point. But sometimes like, things get delayed and then things happen. And anyway, Rahsaan Roland Kirk, Blackness. This is a great classic jazz record. It says, from the top 40 world of Soul Train to the roots of soul in gospel music and back in Africa. It's a remarkable musical cultural shift in perspective and one that carries the listener with it, cut and all analog. It says, soundtrack to a party about to teeter out of control. There you go. First track is Ain't No Sunshine. Second track, What's Going On, and Mercy, Mercy Me. Yeah. Even does The Old Rugged Cross and Never Can Say Goodbye. Let's see. Joey Badass, 1999. This is an album from like 4 years ago that's been reissued on vinyl. Pressed on purple in tan color vinyl. All right. Let's see. Adrian Quesada. This is called Jaguar Sound. Adrian is a member of Black Pumas. And this is 12 cinematic and soulful instrumentals from Black Puma's co-founder on Baby Blue vinyl. I'm getting there, guys. I'm getting there. Savatage. Dead Winter Dead. So this is a very heavy record. 1995 concept album, 2 LPs, limited edition, heavyweight red, 16-page LP booklet, exclusive 1996 tour poster replica. No wonder this is so heavy. It says, on Dead Winter Dead, we completed the storytelling we started on Streets, and we also took the counterpoint we established on Handful of Rain even further. And this is the one that has Christmas Eve Sarajevo, which became sort of like a springboard for Trans-Siberian Orchestra. So, yes, this is the group that kind of became that, well, at least their leader. And then John Carpenter's Lost Themes. This has been out before. This is special pressing. Sacred Bones did this atmospheric Vortex Blue vinyl edition. So if you want some creepy music for your Christmas time, there's that. All right. I think that pretty much covers everything. So you got your record store day stuff in. You know that's coming. You got regular new releases. I don't know what more there is to say, except I'll see you guys on Friday. Bring your wallets. Seriously, there's so much stuff. And I hope that we have enough to kind of like kick off the holiday season, I would think. And let's make it a good one this year, because I mean, that sounds kind of cliche and trite. But, after a couple years of pretty heavy stuff, it's kind of nice to be slightly normal again in most ways. I don't know if we've all come to terms with it, but that's something that we'll keep working on. But anyway, we got the music to keep us happy and going and sane and all that. So I love it. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't love it. Look, I'm like, it's late at night. I could be like, I don't know, warming up the turkey or something. Anyway, me and the turkey. Poor turkeys. I didn't know turkeys got pardons, by the way. That was kind of, where have I been? Thank you so much, and get some rest. You're going to need it for that line Friday morning, all right? Love you guys. Thanks. Take care. Have a happy Thanksgiving.